Okay, let me see. Hold on. Hello. It makes. Okay, I got 10 minutes or something. Alright, I don't know. Well, what's funny is I was gonna say the whole part of my last reading. Oh, yeah, I'm doing a reading.
Oh my, yeah.
Jeez. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So, I'm kind of waiting for the front door to close. I'm like, jeez, hold on. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, so, um, the last reading I did, I was about to read a message, that I'd sent to someone after a conversation, and then instead of having a respond text, someone just kind of showed up or whatever, to talk about this thing. So, I had to back up my, position or whatever, instead of just through, a text or a phone call or whatever the case, So it's not like it's a bad thing, like whatever, it's fine. But there was, it was interesting because I was like right in the middle of trying to talk about this or like explain it or whatever, and then I had to be dealing with it, in a physical way or whatever. So anyway, that could be something happening, I guess. It could be definitely relevant right now, because of the fact that there could be major shifts or changes, and it could be that you're coming out of planning mode, or within your thought process, you could be bringing this truth into reality. So I'm just gonna read it really quick, okay? I was like awkward about reading it the first time, but now I'm like, come on. So let me see. Okay, I'm reading it. At this point, I understand that you were thinking that money could take place of true emotional connectivity, but it's not my focal point. When we were together, you showed me that I couldn't put my trust in you, and that trust is more meaningful to me than monetary assistance. The desire that you have can be placed in lustful situations as you had previously, and doesn't show a reason for me to give up my sense of comfortability in order to bring you the comfort you're desiring of. You aren't showing me. Hold on a sec. Crap. I gotta get the dog out. You aren't showing me that you like me as a person or trying to appreciate who I am besides what physical desires I could alleviate for you. Getting a little personal. This is an ex situation. Anyway, we can be decent partners as far as a co-parenting, but I'm not trying to move forward in a personal relationship dynamic with you. In order to feel at ease or a sense of wholeness within myself and who I can truly rely on. Okay, so that sounds a little funky, but I don't know if I worded this right. So you've shown me that in the wellness of my well-being has not been a priority, and you'd rather see me struggle without you than have me be secure without you. That doesn't seem like a truly loving dynamic, and I don't want to continue going down a road that will leave me feeling isolated while living my life with a partner. In quotes. Okay, so awkward. Anyway, so that is what I said today, and this is with a, you know, an ex from a long time ago, but they're, you know, they've been insinuating or you know, making their intentions known recently, you know, where I've had to combat that, you know, and it didn't seem like there've been, like, so they brought up this conversation earlier, you know, through text, and then I didn't really know how to respond exactly, and I kind of sat on it for a minute, and, that card just said, or this thing just said, let's share this world happily, okay, so yeah, that could be, you know, something, but, what was I saying? Oh, man. So, basically, yeah, like, he said these things, and, you know, whatever it was that he wanted to say, and then I told him where I was at, and it seems like, you know, we've had whatever other conversations, but that's, you know, what my feelings are on the subject, and I'm not sure if it's, you know, gonna be recognized for what it is, I guess, you know, but that was me, you know, letting my position be known, and you know, letting him know where I'm at, and we can still get along, no problem, but I'm not trying to, you know, falsify my feelings, or, you know, it's not like I'm trying to hold on to certain things, but I'm also knowing where patterns lie and what would be, you know, reoccurring regardless, and it's not something I'm wanting to open myself up to, you know, so there's that, you know, I guess concept it this way, in that way, but, it, you know, really just seems that people are needing to address their truth, outside of, you know, what where their passions or their desires might lie, you know, so anyway, let's get to it, okay. Ooh. We got the Emperor right here, okay, and the Queen of Wands. So there could definitely be this awareness of, you know, what somebody's desires are, and what they're wanting to, you know, bring into their life, that they feel would be leading them towards, you know, fullness or wholesome, you know, whoops, with, you know, wholeness, right? Within their life, and, you know, their material, you know, gains and desires, but they could also be needing to recognize and check themselves, when it comes to, you know, their unaligned desires, you know, like what is not really, in alignment with their truth, okay, so that you could be, you know, passionate about something, or interested or desiring of something, but if you know that it's, not really, you know, let me see, meant to be, or, you know, like not really fully aligned in whatever ways, there's a need to kind of recognize that instead of overlooking it, and address the situation accordingly, okay, yeah. We got the Five of Pentacles. Hey Erica, how you doing? So what's it called? Yeah, there could be a need to recognize where there is a certain something that is missing out of a situation, that, you know, would be creating more conflict rather than cooperation, in order for you to move forward towards, you know, what your true, you know, sense of fulfillment would be, and what your desires are, like your long-term aligned desires, okay, so there could be a need to really move forward, right, into a calmer state of mind, instead of focusing on the negativity and the difficulty, or, you know, what it is that you are desiring of that's lacking, but focusing more on, you know, what brings you peace, calm, and a sense of ease, okay. I was just talking to my ex about, you know, how he kind of focuses on negativity a lot in different ways, and it's like, the way I pictured it or put it out to him was like, you know, it's like having a kid who doesn't like lasagna, and they have all this other food on their plate, but they don't like lasagna, so they don't eat anything, you know. It's like, instead of focusing on the lasagna that you don't want, you know, you eat all the stuff that you do like, and then, you know, maybe the lasagna gets taken away and you get asked, you know, what it is that you'd rather have instead, you know. So it's like in a way that you're, you know, focus on the positive, you end up getting more positive. But if you focus on the negative, then that's all you'll be receiving, you know, more of. So more negative taken away. So I gotta go close my back door really quick. Hold on.
What's going on?
Good boy, good boy. You guys are so smart. You're so smart. Hold on. Okay. Okay, hold on. Alright, so the first two cards out. Good job, mister. Whoop. Okay. Hold on, Sheppy. So you could be really kind of getting to a position where you're able to anticipate what you want to come in with, you know, taking more aligned and assertive action for yourself, knowing that you're creating and forming towards your life in a way that's not only for you, but for the full environment, for the people that are affected, who it is that you could be assisting of, or, you know, creating change, you know, to, you know, for the better, you know, but also have your sense of self and your position feel secure. You know, you could be really, all these birds are chirping so loud right now. I don't know if you could hear them. But so you could be really anticipating, you know, what it is that you're really desiring of having come in, and, you know, knowing that you're moving forward towards, you know, creating in your long-term way as well. Okay, so you could be learning what it is that you're needing to learn in order to get to a greater sense of stability within what it is that you are creating and forming. Okay, and do 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 do. Here we go. So let me see. Yeah, you could be getting to a greater sense of you know, security with what it is that you know you're meant to be creating. I think these cards were coming out in reverse. I don't know, that hit like 5 things. Okay. They got mixed up earlier, and so some of them are reversed when they're not supposed to be. But so yeah, you can be really kind of figuring out what type of relationship dynamic you do want, what type of team you're wanting to build on, you know, within, and you be recognizing that you are, you know, moving into a position where you are having greater stability within, you know, what you're doing. There is support, and you could be, you know, really knowing that you're taking action in a way that's leading you towards a greater sense of fulfillment and knowledge of skill and mastery within, you know, what it is that you've done, what you're creating and bringing into your life, and what, you know, what your abilities are like to achieve this. Okay, so we have the Hierophant right here. You could be really moving in a way that you know what you're aligned with, and you're no longer you know, being open to undesired situations that are not true for you. Okay, you could be, you know, really aligning with your higher self, and there could have been, you know, a major transformation that you have, you know, brought yourself through. You could be, how cute, you're really knowing that you're leading yourself in a healed way with joy and innocence towards true soulmate connections that you can feel emotionally fulfilled within, and you can be moving forward in a way where you're like really feeling that this is a true, you know, wish come true for you on a personal level. You could have done a lot of work to get to a greater sense of secureness, or security within yourself, and there could have been a lot of maturing that has gone on. You need to be really ready to open yourself up to what it is that is truly an addition, a desired addition into your life. Okay, you could be no longer striving or yearning for something, but feeling secure with what it is that you have coming in, I guess. Let's see what that says later. Okay, we got the Judgment. We got so there's been like a major awakening and awareness that's been formed, and somebody could be really ready to receive in a way that like they know is best for them. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, so it's like there could be this reciprocal quality coming in where you are giving love and receptive of what is also being given to you. Okay, you could be having a truly fulfilling feeling when it comes to the partnership and lifestyle dynamics that you're opening yourself up to. Okay, you could have really gone within and figured out the truth of certain situations. You could have really been lit up from what it was that you could have been blinded to previously. There could be this like no hesitation or doubt of the knowledge you've gained at this point, and you could be really taking action towards what you feel is bringing you a greater sense of elevation and pride and like strength, passion, and desire. Okay, you could be really instead of feeling like this is something that you had to separate yourself from, you could be feeling like this is coming with the territory, like naturally, like you're moving into a position where you can truly feel appreciative of the fulfillment, and you're moving forward into a new chapter, having created the momentum for yourself by following your guidance, and more willingly getting to a position where you're wanting to like present yourself and open your cup, like kind of what would that be? Present yourself. Okay, and open your cup, I guess, in order to really receive what is meant to be coming in for you. Okay, and you can be feeling like you're moving forward quickly onto your desired and destined path, as you have created the balance within oppositional elements, and can feel secure within the kind of middle ground, I guess, that you have found yourself being able to stand securely within. Okay. Okay. Let's see what these other cards right here are. Ooh. So yeah, there's definitely a need to face certain fears and really close out old negative and painful cycles. Like, be willing to release yourself from this in order to really open yourself up in a way that you know that you're moving forward towards your true desires and can be really following your heart. Okay, let's see, we got another one. Where's that? All right, so you could be moving forward towards a greater level of stability. Okay, you could be as you face these fears, you could be realizing that you're receiving the cooperation that you're desiring of. As you allow for yourself to immerse yourself within your feelings, recognize the new truths being formed, and really kind of lead the way for yourself in a way that you know that you're being, you know, not only guided by others to be, but where you know it is that you're meant to be. Okay, so you could be really getting to a position where you're recognizing your strength and your ability and, you know, what it is that you're needing to do in order to fulfill you know, your true life experience necessary, right? Like, it's just like that vision that I had the other day where it was like the there's the player playing the video game, and then there's the character on the screen. Hey, let me ask in a second. It's like the character on the screen is usually being controlled and stuff, but then in this vision I had, it was like I looked back and it was me in both areas. I looked back where it was like, I know what to do, don't worry. You know, instead of waiting for the impulse or the, you know, control or regulation to, you know, take action and fulfill this situation. It was like I was at this point knowing what level I was on, what action I was meant to be taking, how I was supposed to get there, how I'd need to combat the situation as I navigated through, and, you know, having a confidence within my ability, you know. So it was really kind of, there could be these shifts and new awarenesses that are being formed where people are, you know, no longer defying their own truth. Okay. Oh. Yeah, okay. We got the King of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, somebody could be really knowing the truth that they're needing to in order to avoid the situations that are bringing them to a position of lack, or, you know, not really feeling truly fulfilled. Okay, so there could be a knowledge of what steps are being needed to be taken, but there is a truth and a clarity within you know, someone's sense of self that they can, you know, utilize at this time instead of perpetuating previous situations that were less than desirable. Okay. All right, so as somebody, you know, walks away intentionally, they could be receiving the justice that they are knowing and having the clarity within desiring. Okay, and they could be, you know, having this karmic balance when it comes to the loss they had gone through and the negativity or toxicity that they had been, you know, having going on in their life or partaking in. Okay, so somebody's recognizing that this balance is coming in. There's just the action that they're needing to do to get to a more celebratory mind frame, walk away from what's no longer in alignment, and create plans towards what it is that they're truly wanting to create with their life. Oops. You know, recognizing they got the whole world in their hands. Excuse me. Okay. So yeah, there could be definitely an inner balance and an outer balance that's occurring. You know, someone could be balanced within themselves and their, you know, overall environment, and they could be getting to this truth in order to feel confident with taking action. Recognizing that, you know, it's like somebody could be really aligning at this time with their higher self in a way that's not just aligned, but embodying their higher self, and they could be recognizing that they are meant to be taking action with intention at this point, instead of, you know, having that hesitance that I was talking about previously. Okay, so yeah, look at somebody is aligning with their intuition, okay, and getting pretty cozy within it. That's funny that I said that too, because we got the Queen of Cups right there, so that's the cozy card anyway. So yeah, somebody could be knowing that they are wanting to focus more on, you know, the love rather than the fear, and create with intention. Okay, co-create in this life when they're wanting to overcome the conflict and move forward towards, you know, what they could really be creating. Okay. I don't know why all these cards are all messed up. They could be no longer seeing a situation as a burden and more as a gift, okay, within a relationship dynamic. And they could be having a strong passion to move forward towards a, new cycle, and really kind of like, I had a new recognition of this because of these different visions I've had, but like this outer part, it's like this person could be like standing in a portal, which is kind of like, or like a wormhole, like knowing that they're being taken from one position to another where they're desiring to really be, and staying in this energy, like this, they probably could be like, what's that called, in the zone or whatever. So yeah, somebody could be really knowing that they're leading themselves towards, where in life they're wanting to be, and they could be looking at things through the eyes of peace instead of difficulty, knowing that they're going to be receiving what they're desiring of. There's just a need to surrender into this and express their emotions with confidence in order to, really kind of be in that King of Cups position where they know that they're speaking their truth. Okay. Almost tossed these on the ground. Let me see the last card right there. Oh, we got the Star card and the Sun. Okay, so yeah, they could be this. Oh, that's so weird. That's like deja vu for me right now. These cards together like that. That's so weird. So yeah, they could be getting the strength to understand that they can focus more on the hope rather than the fear and the anxiety, and they're leading themselves towards a true positive outcome. Okay, no longer focused on illusionary dynamics. So, ooh. Let me see. Erica, you're confused. What are you confused about? Can you help me out with that? I might be able to answer questions better. But let me see. I'm gonna pull some here. We got some abundance right here. There could be other people who are jealous. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, of certain abundance that you could be having in your life. Okay. And they could be trying to manipulate in certain ways in order to, kind of maintain their hands in the situation. They could be wanting to bring difficulty into your life in some type of way. Okay, but you just need to kind of stay the course of what it is that you know that you're meant to be doing, and allow for a certain transition, allow for certain endings to occur that are needing to, but keep focused on, where it is that you're leading yourself, okay? You need to release certain concerns, okay? Honor them in different ways, but also kind of pay more attention to what it is you know that you're meant to be doing. Okay, your life feels like crisis. Well, start thinking about what it is that you could be, feeling grateful for. And I know it sounds all like minimal and stuff, but when you focus on that, then you could start having more things that you're grateful for, like coming in, and when you no longer align with the energy of what next, what's going to happen wrong next, type of thing, then more things that are supposed to happen are supposed to happen. My daughter, I need to go pick her up right now. So yeah, there could be a major shift that you're needing to go through. Dog barking. I gotta go really quick. I gotta go. I gotta go pick up my daughter from school, but look at these cards, huh? So somebody could be somebody could have been recognizing that they had created certain falsehoods in their head. They could be, kind of thinking that, somebody's focused on, what it is that they have to offer monetarily or in a physical way. and someone is, more focused on, a loving expression. Okay, they're focused on what, you know, could be more fulfilling energetically. Okay, so there could be somebody who's really kind of looking at things in a way, but also recognizing they could have been navigating through and trying to figure out what, way they could look at the situation and overall, but they're recognizing that they could have claimed things to be true that weren't. Okay, and we got rich girl right here, so someone could be recognizing that, both parties are rich in their own way. Okay, and could be bringing more into a situation. Okay, someone could have gotten gone through a lot of different abuse when it came to people who had negative intentions and wanted to take power from them. Okay, but so somebody could be kind of in a position where they feel confined by the manipulation and the emotional pain that they navigated through. Okay, so they could be, really feeling like they need to get out from underneath the control of others. Okay, somebody could be maybe needing to pay more attention to their own true feelings right now. But I gotta go. I'm gonna read these last cards, and maybe I'll do a part 2. Okay. Okay, so we have unexpected money, divine feminine, we have jealous and envious of a love offer. So, there could be this recognition that they're moving, as they move more aligned in, their own divine way, they could be moving into a much more abundant position. But there's also a recognition that there's, other people who could be envious or jealous of, the desired expression, the love that they have, that they're wanting to share. And they could be recognizing that, that is based on certain attachments that those people have. But they're, kind of wanting to move forward towards a greater sense of stability within their home and their environment and their life in general. And they could be feeling that this is going to lead them towards, a truly successful position that they could be desiring of. And so they're, at this point, becoming less bothered or unbothered with other people who are trying to create instability in their life. Okay, so let me just, I'm not sure if you're still here. Okay, but there's major changes that are going on between somebody's karmic outlook that had been creating confusion and illusion. Okay, and at this point they're focused more on their purpose and intention, what they feel would be leading towards more blissful situations. Okay, instead of turning their feelings off and kind of like focused on the negative. Okay, at this point they could be really moving forward more intentionally towards the commitment they're desiring of, feeling that they're leading themselves down the path that is a true gift. Okay, and they're recognizing that certain could have been divine intervention in certain ways was actually karma balancing itself out for this person to move more in a divinely aligned way. Okay, they could be recognizing that previous energy had been blocking them from, the true fruit of their labor, and they could have had third-party situations that were blocking and falsifying the relationship they were meant to be in. Okay, they could be abandoning negative ritualistic intention and leading themselves in a way that is focused on where they're wanting to be truthfully, instead of being stuck in situations with other people's negative intention and lack of concern or considerate ways. Okay, so somebody's paying more attention to the signs they're receiving and recognizing the difference between a negative influence and a positive one. Okay, they're wanting to take in initiative to receive what they're truly wanting to receive. And let's see, maybe recognizing how karmics had been taking away and creating conflict. But at this point, they are trusting this, as a real love situation that they're moving forward towards. As they mature, they could recognize, oh no, somebody doesn't want me to say that. That they are really kind of taking care of themselves in like a cosmic way, higher aligned way, as they, express more self-love and initiate the changes based on what it is they're desiring at that time. Okay, they could be moving forward with faith in the relationship that they feel would be a high honor with a soulmate connection and help them align in a way that's truly divine. They could be, putting more energy out into the community to bring positivity into the situation. And they could be recognizing that, there could have been, lustful outlooks previously that had brought them a lot of abundance. But as they move forward in a more divine way, they're getting to a position that's more truthful and purposeful. Okay. They have protection within their family. And somebody could be really ascending, okay, elevating. They could be concerned about what there is on the other side of the veil in certain ways, but they could be, really getting to a position where they could heal their heart and their issues and their concerns with what it is that they have brought into their life and the awarenesses that they end up have formed or guided to be formed. Okay. Interesting. I gotta go. I said I was gonna stop. Whoops. All right. Sorry. I'll come back on, and if I pop back on, just ask me a question again, and then I'll go and answer it for you. Okay. But I'll talk to you later.